Moving to South Africa now, the National Policy Conference of the African National Congress only happens once every 5 years. That's why there is so much at stake as they convene in Johannesburg on Friday. The ANC brought democracy to South Africa on the promise of a better life for all. 20 years later, the economy and the currency are in trouble. Crime, unemployment and corruption all remain high. But the 5-day conference is likely to be overshadowed by a power struggle to succeed President Jacob Zuma as party leader. Well, here to help us understand, he is a political analyst from the University of the Witwatersrand. He speaks to us via Skype from Johannesburg, South Africa. Patrick, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks. Great to be with you and the viewers.
So much at stake here and so many overlapping issues. There is the frenzy over whether Jacob Zuma will in effect wreck the ANC's election chances in 2019. There is also President Zuma's promise of radical economic transformation. How is all this going to play out at this conference, and what does it mean for the ANC's policy development?
Well, the critical recent factor has been about 200,000 emails leaked that implicate Zuma and a great many of the top bureaucrats and politicians in connection with an immigrant family, the Gupta family, 3 brothers from India. And what these emails dripping out day by day as a large team of journalists dissects them, sort of like a WikiLeaks, it really looks very bad for Zuma's claim that he had no wrongdoing, nor did his inner circles, in relation to state capture, as the phrase is, by this group. And that is what is making the ANC so very nervous, that his continued tenure in office as president until the general elections of 2019 would actually doom the ANC, and there may be a coalition that could actually, for the first time since 1994, replace him. And it's that systematic corruption as against what Zuma and his people and the Gupta brothers and the Bell Pottinger PR firm from Britain have developed, that is the meme radical economic transformation, as a sort of counter-argument that the so-called white monopoly capital of settler capital, whites who've been here for generations, as well as multinational capital and banks, are all up against Jacob Zuma, and therefore he is an anti-imperialist. He's got the BRICS group, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, against the West, and that's his line of argument. We call this a talk left, but walk right.
Is this a make or break moment for Zuma, though? You talk about there's lots of nervousness. Is Jacob Zuma, does he have any reason to be nervous? And does the party as a whole have reason to be nervous, considering the recent electoral losses and declines that the ANC has been seeing?
Well, that's right, Hayde. The 2016 municipal election, it was last August, did see a dramatic decline from, at one point, a high of 69% of the votes 15 or so years ago, down to just 54% of the votes in the municipal elections last year. So it could well be that that trajectory brings them down below the 50% mark. And as in Johannesburg and Pretoria, possibly a far-left plus center-right coalition actually booting out the ANC from government. That's their worst-case scenario. And the question is whether Jacob Zuma would actually stick around till 2019. His future is in doubt if he is bringing the ANC so far down. And that partly depends, will his successor be his ex-wife, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, the recent African Union chairperson, or will it be the deputy president, favored by big business? His name, Cyril Ramaphosa, but he's implicated in the Marikana massacre of mine workers who were on a wildcat strike, 34 of them killed by the police just one day after he, as the main minority owner of Lonmin, a big mining house, emailed the police to say, let's do something about what he called the dastardly criminals. And so both these candidates have big question marks, and it may be that a third unknown candidate comes through in December. That's when the next big ANC political congress is held to set the stage for a new president who would then run in 2019 to replace Zuma. Will Zuma bring the whole party down with the continuation of this ongoing scandal? That's what we're going to learn in the coming months.
And we're going to watch all of that very closely. Patrick Bond, political economist and professor from the University of the Witwatersrand, thank you so very much for talking to us.